In this episode of Behind the Brand, we're sitting down with Diana Puterbaugh and her right-hand gal Carla Crane of Hops Direct, a fifth-generation hop farm in the Yakima Valley. Diana is sharing how she helped bring the family business into the digital era by launching Hops Direct LLC back in 1999, long before most farms were even thinking about selling online. We'll be exploring the journey of taking a legacy family farm and building a direct-to-consumer e-commerce business, adapting to shifts in the craft beer and hop industry, evolving the brand over the years, marketing, storytelling, and a digital strategy, and what it's like to work with family, stay relevant in a niche industry, and grow through challenge and change. We also discuss how Moxie has helped support their evolution from social media and email strategy to website development and creative storytelling that ultimately connects the brewers and homebrewers alike.
Welcome to Behind the Brand, the podcast for small business owners, solopreneurs, and aspiring entrepreneurs who are ready to start strong, stand out, and stay bold. I'm Taylor.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Isabella, and we're part of the powerhouse team of marketers at Moxie Creative.
We're taking you behind the scenes to explore what it takes to build and grow a memorable brand.
Ready to get behind the brand? Let's dive in. Good morning, Moxieverse. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Brand. This one is a little bit special for us. There will not be a video for this podcast because we are on location with our clients, Hops Direct. We're sitting here with Diana and Carla, two ladies in hops world. I'm with Isabella, and we are at the Craft Brewers Conference and Brew America Expo in Indianapolis.
Hey everyone. Yes, like we said, we're here with Diana and Carla. And so we're going to shoot this a little bit about, first of all, like how they got started. There's Hops Direct and there's Puterbaugh Farm.
Correct.
Hops Direct came after Puterbaugh Farm. So what was the idea with starting Hops Direct LLC?
I was a deprived mother of two young children at home. Somebody got us a computer. The advent of the internet and dial-up, we'd get on and, look up hops and different things, trying to figure out what I could do to work. A friend of ours gave us a laptop the following year, and it got me onto speed, onto the internet. And a friend of ours was a home brewer and said, hey, why don't you do this and this? Sell hops and go online. So we tried it in a very small way, and we used U.S. postal shipping tubes, and we would take out samples and mail them, and it just kind of expanded from there. And that was like in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
really kind of at the start of the .com. You guys got in on it.
As we were being laughed at because we were selling hops on the internet, but everybody was watching what we were doing. So it played out well.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. It's expanded. I've got good team members and family supporting. So.
Yeah. And before you were online, your family, or Stacy, your husband's family, has been part of the hop world for a very, very long time. And I think your story is just another little piece that makes it so interesting. And, from working with you, we've looked at a lot of other hop farms. And I think that's the piece that is maybe missing for other people is your story and how Puterbaugh Farms came to be. So I'd love to, if we could just maybe touch on that a little bit too.
Fire away.
No, you go. You tell me. I know the story, but our listeners don't know.
It's just home with kids, and farming was really slow, and I talked about selling property and what were we going to do. So again, here we are repeating history right now. Our agriculture is in a slump. So that was the situation. And I was able to do it in my little cubby in the corner of the house. And I would work at night. They would teasingly call me Red Eye, and bounce between your home chores and work chores. Pack orders before the FedEx man would get it while the kids were sleeping entirely.
I'm a working mom. I know exactly how that goes. We do a lot of stuff when the kids are sleeping.
Okay, so fifth generation hop farm right now. So how were you guys selling hops before you were able to do it online?
Beforehand, it was entirely at the hands and mercy of merchants, and it was done from a table, piece of paper, agreed on a volume and an amount, and that was it. And you just delivered your hops at the end of the season, and you got, a paycheck at the end of the year. Very simple and straightforward.
Yeah. And you still do a little bit of that now? So that's part of the business too?
Correct. The farm still does have commercial accounts that have consistently worked with them, albeit quite small right now because of the slowdown. But thankfully, we have a diversified program.
So tradition has obviously been, you guys have done everything in a traditional way. And tradition is a huge part of your culture and what Hops Direct is. How have you been able to balance the tradition and the innovation of things as it's evolved?
Question. That's a good question. Of course, you look to simplify and reduce costs. So if the boys find something to mechanically upspeed things or take out excess labor, there's some tractors that they've updated. Currently, we're growing corn in some of the hop fields to help with the system and to pick in silage in the fall. And that's just all done by tractors, no labor. So it's a little more efficient way to make a living this year.
Yeah.
But as far as the equipment goes, Carla, how would we explain Bertha?
Yeah, you guys have some interesting equipment on the farm.
Yes. We built Bertha, which is the picking machine, a new picking machine, trying to get away from that old picking style because it's less labor,
Sure.
And it's huge. It's a big, ugly machine, so we call her.
Yeah, and there's just less
Big
less
Bertha.
labor, and it was Stacy's girlfriend for years trying to milk her. So
I always knew where he was.
yeah.
Oh, too funny.
Okay, so there was obviously some early challenges in the beginning of selling hops online. And then what made it pick up? What ended up happening in the industry?
Well, of course, I didn't know anything. I worked in commodities before kids, so I had no idea about doing all the profiling and Facebook and citing. So we hired on, and then I got a girlfriend to work part-time and how to do data entry. And then we actually built a website, and the website was fantastic. It took us places we could never have paid for. We got our spotlighted on Martha Stewart,
Yeah.
So cool.
spotlighted on some other educational accounts and other agriculture shows. So it was nice to be seen and heard and picked up. But to be perfectly honest, until you start going to like this trade show and meeting and greeting at the brewer's level, that really helped us a lot to be a face that the new people could come and see, look at us from a craft beer perspective.
Yeah. Well, so once craft beer started to pick up, what did that look like for you guys?
Oh, Carla, it was crazy. And thankfully, we have a great team that we work with. There was, bless her heart, Charlene's not with us anymore, but Charlene and Carla ran the phones for hours.
It was great. It was fantastic because your day went fast because
So much.
so much to do. And when I first started, I didn't even know a hop from a hop. I thought a hop was a hop, and that was all you needed is one hop. But
Right.
so not true.
Yeah, so not true. How many varieties do you guys have on the farm?
We have 19 different varieties
Okay.
that we're growing.
Yeah, which is crazy. And some very unique varieties. Belma,
Yeah.
that is a Hops Direct exclusive.
You want to tell the Stacy story?
So one year, probably 2008, probably, Mr. Stacy found a plant growing alongside the hop picking machine. And he just, no big deal. Next year, there it is again. He looked at this for probably 3 or 4 years and then finally decided, hey, let's go check this one out.
Yeah.
Let's pick it and get it tested. It turned out after we tested it, it was a Magnum and Akita Midori mix. We grow Magnum on the farm, but Akita Midori comes from Japan.
Right.
So how does
that get here? Yeah.
right?
Concalination.
Yeah. So got it tested, and lo and behold, it's quite a good hop,
Yeah.
dual purpose.
Which is a surprise, too, for being just something
right.
random.
It wasn't something we tried to grow. It just appeared.
And it's named Belma because that's the road that your farm is on. So it
That
is
is
just
the location,
yeah.
the homestead of the original family members coming here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is just such a special hop. And we've had the pleasure of helping you guys through over the years, like tell the Belma story. And, we put together a really cute story about Belma, the little hop that could. And it's just been really fun to be on that journey with you too, to help grow Belma and the legacy of that, because that's, one thing that will always continue to go on, right?
Cheers.
Yeah. Yes.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's other, I don't know how to say it, maybe places and farms and people that will try to make a new variety, right? Or come across them and not all that
There
make
are
it.
huge breeding
So,
programs,
yeah.
and even WSU Extension and Crosser, the public is investing in it.
Yeah.
Government perspective to keep our industry healthy. There's private firms that are very protective. So the fact that we just kind of, found this little deposit at Blessing in our backyard, we're very fortunate. So
Yeah.
it's a very competitive work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because not all those varieties will make it. So you're able to kind of balance between brewers just loved it, but also putting in some work on promoting it.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's super interesting. So there was a craft beer boom, and then now things have been starting to shift. How has that shifted in your world a little bit?
Oh boy. Well, they don't want hops. Like I said, we're growing some corn on the side to augment. You talk to the brewers, Carla. They're challenged just like we are.
Yeah, we're actually in the same boat. Too many hops right now
Sure.
for everybody.
Yeah.
The brewers have too many hops. There's less beer drinkers.
And we're competing with distilling industry.
Which is starting to take off. You know, we've seen that more in our industry where kind of when the brewing boom happened, we were doing a lot of logos and labels for the brewing industry. And now in the last couple of years, we've done significantly more for distilleries. So yeah.
Non-alcohol.
Yes, non-alcohol. I mean, Isabella and I have been walking around the show all day yesterday, and that we saw a lot of things, but also a lot of things that were like, okay, there might be other use for hops, you know? It doesn't just have to be in beer. And I know that's something that Isabella has like grown extremely passionate about.
It's nice. It's fun. It's impressive to see something new and innate. And
yes.
I can't think of the word, but
innovative. Yes.
But it actually tastes good and it uses hops too. So.
Yeah, and well, there's so many health benefits to hops. So I think a lot of consumers just need to learn about that. And so I think maybe it's just we're in like a shifting period of how hops are getting used because they've been known to be always in beer, and now we're starting to see it starting to be in hot water. And
true. We tried some hop gummies yesterday that were insanely good.
Yeah. So I think it comes down to kind of also just shifting the marketing perspective and the way that that's done. So I think that over the years, maybe we'll hopefully see just things take off.
Well, isn't that in a nutshell? I mean, we've had to shift gears and be innovative from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah. So going to be innovative, it's funny because we're at Craft Brewers Convention right now, but years ago before Kayla and I were even on the team, that's how our team met
you guys. Yeah, a different someone that worked with Kelly, our boss, and then when she left and I came on the team, I inherited you as my clients. It has been so fun. And then at the time you had another tailor that was working with your farm, and her and I worked together seamlessly, and we just did a lot of the creative stuff for you. That was 4 years ago now. Yep. And then about 2.5 years ago, that tailor left, and we've continued our partnership together. And now we do a large chunk of your marketing efforts. And it's really cool because we are states and states away. We're in Minnesota, and you guys are out in Washington State. Yeah, for the first time. This is our first time meeting in person. We talk to each other weekly, every month, whatever. But it's been so fun to actually be around you, and your team, everything that we've already known you are. But
not stranger.
Yeah, it definitely, there was no like weirdness coming to see you guys. It was like hugs.
Yeah, exactly. So from your guys' perspective, how do you feel like your partnership with Moxie has supported you guys through changing times and just like for Hops Dressed in general?
You take the headache off the design perspective. I tap into Carla for a lot of that, and to be honest, there stays I don't have time to do it, but she generated the idea with the flags, handed off to you.
Yeah.
And here we come with some really good looking stuff. And our booth is fantastic. And I'm so thankful. Don't you like not having a better booth vendor?
Yes, I think with you guys, it's nice. We can come up with ideas and you can get them presented and get them all ready for us. I think that's...
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah. Accept feedback from us.
Yes, and we love the way that you guys give us ideas, and because we're not in the same state or the same city even, we can tell you guys ideas too. And Isabella runs all the social channels for Hops, and so she can say, hey Matt, hey Carla, Diana, like, can you guys get this footage and this and that, and that works out really well for us too. And
whether you're next door or down the street, or on the other side of the state, it worked out very well. You've been able to access all of our bank of products and producing cool things. Keep it up.
I mean, I think it's really great that like for me on the social media side of things, I get to do more of the social listening where I understand what the brewers are wanting or what people in the industry are wanting to see. And then I'm able to go to you guys and get your perspective, get your insight, and get any content from you guys. And then we're able to really like put it together. So it's just a partnership that works really, really well.
Yeah.
So Taylor, you help with, we're doing a new website.
So, like I said, when I started working with you guys, I kind of came in and inherited the creative and the, look that was already established for Hops. And then over the last couple of years, things have shifted and we've, started implementing different design things. And I think Isabella was a huge piece of that too. This also goes back to the brewery boom. When that happened, I look at some of the logos that we did during that time and they're very rustic and they have a lot of texture and they're just not as modern. And you guys at one point in time had that your logo had a little bit more of that. And now you've gone to a more modern look with your logo. And I think every bit of design has shifted that way too. And so this year it came time. Well, now we've established some new brand elements. Now let's incorporate that into the website. And so that's what we've been doing over the course of the last couple months. And we just kind of launched phase 1 of that last week. I wanted to get it off before the show, and over the next couple of weeks we're going to fine tune everything and make it look really nice and pretty. It's super bright, it's super catchy.
Sounds like it's working okay.
Yeah, orders are coming in still. Change is scary.
Change is good.
Yes. And then I also help out a lot with your email correspondence, which I think for an e-commerce platform like you guys those are great.
Helpful.
Yeah, we get to, it's fun to see, this one, I love to be able to see this brought in this money in sales and stuff. So that's always really fun. And then that's a great way for us to indicate like what are the trends that are happening right now. I think in February we put out an IPA email and it was the best one. And so we're like, okay, what can we do for like a summer IPA kind of situation leading into the summer months here? And, IPAs that seem like they're never going to go out of style. So just talking more about that.
Being in agriculture, we are so multifaceted. Carla takes care of a lot of things in the office, worldwide shipping, people coming to the desk. And we're so busy planning and organizing that I don't always have my finger on the pulse of what's going on in that world, but you can't not have promo and advertising going. So it is kind of nice to just let you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you do nice.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so cool, the social media side of it. I mean, I found out that the educational content is what really, really works for you guys.
And I would never have thought of it.
Well, and it's just great. I love seeing I post something that I'll spend a bunch of time learning, and I've learned so much about hops, and that's just a really cool.
You're walking around here and I'm like, Isabella, what? Is this how this works? Is this how that works? Like, she knows so much.
And so when I was getting into it, I was kind of it was cool coming from my perspective because I was you have a lot of home brewers in your audience and also just breweries of any size. But I was okay, first of all, when I came into it, I was what the heck is a hop? What are alpha acids? What is that?
Yeah, Carla knows.
The alpha acids, and there's the beta acids, and then you go to the oils, cumulene, linalool, whatever, all this stuff. So I'm okay,
gibberish.
Let's go to the home brewer perspective side. Let's kind of target them with that. And yeah, we post something that's a little more educational. It's breaking things down in an easy way. Gain followers every single time.
And who doesn't like that?
Yeah, people love to share it. So the sense of community, you guys have already had this community that's been flowing on for so long. So then being able to transfer that on social media has been great for you guys. It totally keeps you relevant. It keeps your brand top of mind with people, especially because there are so many different hop farms and people that are selling hops. And so being able to stay up in a competition on there,
and to speak to
it's important, and be different. Exactly.
Yeah, and not talk down to a lot of people. And
right.
To be, I like your simplicity.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, you guys are very approachable, and I think that's part of what makes our partnership work so well. I really like to think that we are an approachable team, and we're just down to earth, and we're having fun with what we're doing, and hope that our clients are having fun with what they're doing as well. I think that's a piece that makes us work so well.
Yeah. So things are changing. Are you guys changing how maybe you want to approach things, or wanting to go more into maybe touching on hop water, or whatever it is?
I don't know. I mean, we've given stuff some thought, but nothing to put out there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But you partner with some other companies. Was it Hop Technic? Is that their name?
The lab in Toppenish.
We don't partner.
No. But you grow Amarillo for them, and they're
correct.
starting to get into hop water. So things are, there's, there's different things that you're kind of doing to
with Charles Farm or Season UK as merchants and sharing products.
Right.
And then Carla and Matthew have this whole ship of home brewers, like I said, that we try to cater to. I thought of one thing. Matthew, you and I, we were talking about hop hash a couple years ago. Not really stuck. And then you guys put that.
We put that online while we were pelleting, and it's been quite the hit.
Yeah.
It's been quite, we never touched it before.
Now this year was your first year doing that? Yeah, see, there's innovation.
Yeah, there's things happening here.
And you're able to get it out there and in front of them. And
exactly.
I mean, we're so busy, we don't even know we're innovating.
Innovative.
Innovative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was funny. I remember there was like a brewer that bought the Hot Passion, posted a story of it and tagged you guys, and so I just quick reposted it. And then the next call we got on, Matt was like, Isabel, as soon as you reposted that, we just started getting orders in for Hot Passion. Just that easy.
See?
So yeah, that's been really cool.
Thank you.
But
Yeah, I don't know if I have any other burning questions or anything else to say.
Do a shout out to the ladies of Brewing.
Yeah, of
Mother's
course.
Day special.
Yes. I think this will come out after Mother's Day, but I do think that is such a special piece about you guys. You know, I think Stacy, Drew, and Levi, I mean, they're front and center on your trade show. They get a lot of recognition, but there are amazing ladies on the farm and in Hop that deserve credit. And, you know, we obviously love that. And, you know, we're women in business too. So I think that is really cool.
having women in the industry is not a new thing. I mean, there's so much history behind female brewers.
We have a picture of my mother-in-law with her hair up in rollers, tied up in a
handkerchief.
handing out payroll. She was probably 17, a scarf, handing out payroll to the crew.
Yeah.
The fact that she even had somebody take a picture of her hair up. But yes, always somebody active and working in the farm.
When we have guests on, so the way that we do our podcast is we do kind of like a guest episode, and then we do a team episode where we break something down about business or marketing or whatever. But whenever we do our guest episode, we like to have one little piece that ties them all together. So I do have 2 questions, and you guys can answer them together, or Diana or just Carla, doesn't matter. Sure. What is one piece of advice you'd like to share for others running a legacy or family-run business?
I think just patience. Man, you can come out with all kinds of ideas or intents, or on a given day want to do something, and then, you know, you get yanked to the left. And I think you just got to be patient and persevere. It just is, you don't get anywhere without a lot of hard work.
Yeah. And be open to different roles on the farm. Just flexibility. Oh, you're not doing that today. You're doing this today.
Yes.
So, and that's always fun to do.
We found out Carla's got a green thumb. She helped us out in the front of the office one day and the flowers in display, and wow. But she's right.
And be ready to jump in when you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of, we talked about this last night. There is some distant relation, but you're not exactly related. But I 100% was like, oh, Carla and Matt must be, you know, cousins or whatever. But you guys operate as a family on all fronts, right? Like it is.
They treat us like.
Yeah. Which is really special.
She's like the best sister I got in the house.
So sweet.
And if you count the desks in our office, what is it? 3/4 of them are family. And
yeah.
Carla and Matthew are the other.
Yeah, right. So they just fit right in. And then what is maybe one piece of advice that you've received along the way? Maybe it's from your mother-in-law, something that she said before you got into the business, or, you know, just from other brewers or other hop farmers, or anything that you guys have maybe been told that has helped shape where you guys are at today.
For me, it's the brewers. When you come here, you talk them over the phone with them. They say, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. So that makes me happy.
Oh, I love that.
And I think from my father-in-law's perspective, he always wanted to be independent. And I think I jive with that. I have always been an independent person. And from a family farming perspective, you've got to have some independence in your blood to make it work. So I think that sticks in my head.
Yeah. I love that. That's wonderful. Well, thanks, Diana and Carla, for sitting down with us today. And thank you for inviting us to come and be here with you. Yeah, it has been super special for us. I'm sad to leave you guys today. It's been really fun to just walk the trade show and learn more about your industry and the brewing industry as a whole.
Isabella's tall.
Yeah.
She's a tall blonde girl.
It's funny. When you see one for the first time, I had an old boss, and I didn't know that he's never going to listen to this. I didn't know that he's an Italian guy, and he's like 5'2".
Shorter than I am.
Straight so I'm like watching, and I just see this guy just come like,
oh, oh, that's so funny.
You guys are so fun.
Oh, I love it. Well, wonderful. It is almost 10:30 and the show has started. You guys need to get back. Matt's all on his lonesome, but thank you again for sitting down with us. It was so fun to talk with you. We love you guys and really appreciate you being a valued client in our
We're
partnership.
glad you guys are the beer tasters.
Yeah.
Went out there for the team.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Behind the Brand. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend. If you didn't, share it with an enemy. To keep up with us, follow along on our socials. Links are in the show notes below.